So as you'll know, this channel is called Non-League YT, but the sad fact is that I only cover 3 of the hundreds of leagues in non-league football. As much as I'd love to cover every single league in non-league, because of how big the non-league pyramid is, it's virtually impossible to do so. There'll be thousands and thousands and thousands of clubs to cover, and I wouldn't be able to keep up with everything because it's just an impossible task. But one thing that I wanted to do was branch out at least a little bit, so today we're going to be looking at 3 more leagues, and they are the 3 leagues that make up Tier 7, otherwise known as Step 3 of the non-league pyramid, and they are the evo-stik Northern Premier, the evo-stik Southern Premier, and the Ryman Premier Division. So in no particular order, we're going to start with the evo-stik Northern Premier League. This contains teams that are from either the Midlands or the north of England, and it already has a team that has been crowned as the champion. Blythe Spartans have led the way for the entire season and are now mathematically guaranteed to win the Northern Premier League. In the playoffs, Spennymoor are in second, and then between 3rd and 10th there is only 6 points separating them. So realistically, any 4 teams from 9 could make up the playoffs, and with only 3 games left this season, that playoff race is wide open. Teams to watch out for though: Grantham in second. They have won their last 5 in a row, and Stourbridge in 4th. They had their insane FA Cup run earlier this season where they got to the 3rd round, so they've certainly got quality in their ranks. Down at the bottom, Skelmersdale are guaranteed to be relegated. Ilkeston the second bottom, and their players have threatened to go on strike in the last few weeks because they haven't been paid. The highest average attendance this season belongs to Stourbridge with 816 as an average, which for that level is pretty good. The top scorer in the league also belongs to Stourbridge, and that is Luke Bembo. He has 29 goals this season. Second is Dan Maguire of Blythe Spartans. He also made it into the team of the season for the evo-stik Northern Premier League alongside Bembo, which I'm going to put on the screen right now. Also some notable players in there: Robbie Dale, who's been at Blythe Spartans his entire career, and he scored a lot of goals in their FA Cup run 2 or 3 years ago. And Dan Scarr of Stourbridge, he actually moved on from Stourbridge earlier in the season to sign for Birmingham City for an undisclosed fee. So he is actually no longer in the Northern Premier League, but he's done so well in that first half of the season that he's made it into the team of the season. Last year in the Northern Premier League, Darlington were the champions and Salford came up through the playoffs. So some records for this season: the biggest win was an emphatic 10-1 away victory, the only game that's gone to double figures. That was a win for Ashton United against bottom side Skelmersdale, and it was away from home as well. The highest attendance was between Stafford Rangers and Hednesford Town on Boxing Day. 1,826 people attended that local derby. And the lowest attendance was between Marine and Corby. 31 people attended that. That's the sort of attendances that you get in the 9th and 10th tier, not in the 7th tier. Now on to the Southern Premier Division, again sponsored by evo-stik, and top of the table is Chippenham Town. They are top by 8 points with 3 games left, so 2 more points and they have guaranteed that title. In the playoffs behind them, there are Leamington, Hitchin, Slough and Merthyr Town. The playoff race is not quite so open as the Northern Premier League, but there are still a few teams outside the playoffs that could easily sneak into them. Cinderford are the only team that has been guaranteed to be relegated this season. They are on just 24 points with 3 games remaining. They're a long way from safety. Other teams in this league that are fairly notable: Kettering Town. They were formerly in the conference, but due to financial difficulties they have dropped right down and they find themselves in the 7th tier. They're currently sitting mid-table in the Southern League Premier Division. The top scorer in the league, no surprise, belongs to Chippenham because they have put in so many goals this season. They have scored a grand total of 90 goals, and their top scorer is Andy Sandow. Now he is a fairly recognisable name. He used to play for Newport and Wickham in the Football League, but he's actually a left back. He's converted himself into a striker to play for Chippenham, which is his hometown club, so it's a very, very interesting transition. He's gone from playing left back really well to absolutely excelling up front at a lower level. The second top scorer in the league is Ini Effiong. He has moved to Barrow and he's been there for a few months now. The highest attendance was in a derby match between Dorchester Town and Weymouth. Over 2,000 people attended that game, 2,033. That is excellent. And the game, it ended all square with a 1-1 draw on Boxing Day. The lowest attendance was Kings Langley versus Redditch. Just 71 people saw Redditch win 2-1. The biggest margin of victory, there's 2 games that had 7 goals in it. Frome Town beat Redditch 8-1 and Kettering Town beat St Ives Town 7-0 away from home. The highest average attendance in the league belongs to Slough Town, who've had an average of 624 this season. And last but certainly by no means least is the Ryman Premier Division. Mainly has teams based around London, so it's good for people based in London. There's not far to travel for away matches, and this is the only league out of the 3 at the 7th tier that have a wide open title race even this stage of the season. The 2 teams, they are separated by just 1 point. Top of the table, Bognor Regis have 88 and Havant and Waterlooville in second have 87. Their goal difference is similar as well, so this one is going to go right down to the wire. With 3 games left, it's impossible to predict who's going to win it. In third is Dulwich Hamlet. They have got the highest average attendance so far this season. An average of 1,291 people have attended their games. That is absolutely insane. The only team at this level that have had over 1,000 average attendance. And then behind them, the playoff race, it's wide open again. Between 4th and 10th, realistically, any of those teams can get into the playoffs. And down in 10th is big spending Billericay Town. They've bought players like Jamie O'Hara and Paul Konchesky in recent weeks. Their new owner Glenn Tampton has been funding some really big signings since he took over in December. The most informed team is Enfield Town. They are currently in 5th and they have 5 wins in a row. They're in a great position to end in the playoffs. Other teams in the league that you may know, down in 20th is Leatherhead, who are managed by the absolute legend that is Jimmy Bullard. He's a big character, and at this moment in time, he's currently just about keeping Leatherhead up, because in the relegation zone are Kingstonian, Hendon, Sudbury and Grays Athletic. Grays are the only team that is guaranteed to be relegated. They cannot stay up now. The top scorer in the league is a man from Leiston. His name is Matt Blake. Billericay Town had an offer rejected for him earlier in the season after he turned them down because he wanted to wait until the end of the season to see if he could get a deal higher up in the football pyramid. He didn't want to just be swayed by money. He has got ambition for his career. The biggest margin of victory, there have been 3 6-0 matches, so no absolutely huge games like the 10-1 in the Northern Premier League, but 6-0 is still emphatic. However, the highest scoring game was between Hendon and Harrow Borough on Boxing Day. There's been a lot of big games in terms of attendances, and this one in terms of goals, it ended 5-4 to Harrow Borough. An amazing game for the neutral, that one. The highest attendance of the season was at Dulwich Hamlet against Billericay Town. 2,805 people witnessed a 3-0 win for Billericay. So there you have it, that is my roundup of the 7th tier so far this season. If you want to see more videos of me covering the 7th tier, then let me know in the comments down below, because if you want to see it, then I will do it. And if you enjoyed the video, then remember to click that like button and subscribe to stay up to date with non-league football. And as always, thanks for watching.